Hey everybody, this is Meg from Flow with Meg and my little home studio. So today what I have for you is a little side series action. So when we think of strengthening our core, in Pilates we're doing the deep transverse abdominis. So these muscles deep down, 3 layers down that wrap around our entire torso, help keep our organs in, and help us sit up nice and tall and have no back pain, which we're all going for, right? But things get a little bit more complicated when we start to go on our side. So today we're going to talk about that and what happens and what to think about to make sure we're maintaining our neutral pelvis and engaging in the right way. So let's go ahead and get started. So find your mat. So first we're going to do some warm-up. So first we're setting up in tabletop position. So spread your fingers super wide. Grip the mat. Index fingers forward. Then we're setting up a little table. So shoulders are over our wrists, hips are over our knees. And go ahead and just keep your toes untucked for now. So push the ground away, so don't want to be collapsing down into our shoulders. Nice long neck, looking out just slightly in front of you. Start to draw your belly in towards your spine. We're going to do some cat-cows. So inhale, start to lift your tailbone as you articulate up, looking up, dropping the belly. And as you exhale, start to tuck your tailbone, articulating up. Spine comes all the way up to the mat or up to the ceiling, looking down at the mat. Keep going. So inhale, cow. And exhale, scary cat. One more time like that. Trying to articulate each vertebrae of our spine. Last time. Draw that belly in and up, broadening the shoulders. All right, let's come back to that neutral pelvis, neutral tabletop. So making sure you're just not collapsing through your shoulders or letting that belly really flop down. So draw your belly in, flattening that back. Looking down in front of you, tuck your toes. We're just going to do a little hover here. So make sure you're not dumping into your wrists as well. Push the ground away. And let's just hover those knees a couple inches off the mat. Hold here, nothing changes, and then lowering down. Reset. So really broad collarbone, drawing the shoulders down towards the back, knitting those ribs. Hover them, knees up, and lower. One last time, hover, and let's hold this one. So really grip the mat, white knuckle the mat. Use that Pilates breath if you know it, so sending the breath towards the ribs outside. And then exhale, bringing everything in. Hold here or use the strength of your belly, the strength of your hips to come down, a little down dog action, but make sure you're nice bent knees. Shoulders away from your ears. Hold here. This probably feels like a little bit of a rest. And then with control, rolling forward, coming back to that hover position, and then replacing those knees. 2 more times. So re-find that tabletop. Push the ground away, shoulders away from ears, hovering those knees. Then using the strength of your hips, belly, pike those hips back. And then rolling forward. Stay hovered here this time, don't drop those knees. Pike those hips back, use your belly. And rolling forward. I lied, I always lie. One more. Up and back. We gotta warm up. And then rolling forward. Dropping your knees and resting down for a second. Okay, making sure you're centered on your mat. I'm a little back, so I'm going to walk my way forward. So we're going to set up for a plank position and then doing a couple of other things. So go ahead and extend that right leg out nice and long, high up on those heels. So check if you're centered. So making sure you have even weight distribution between your 2 hands. Same with your hips, making sure one's not cocked or falling. So just hold here, and then bring that leg back, tabletop. Other side, extending that other leg out, and then coming back. So keep with this, but noticing if you're rocking side to side. So I'm really just straightening my leg, and then sending the other one back. If this is too easy, go ahead and find that neutral, and send one leg out, and then send the other one out. And just hold her in a plank position. So stay with me. Or just do those one leg planks. One breath here. Inhale, and then exhale. Slowly lower those knees. Nothing else changes. Untuck those toes, and bring your booty towards your feet. Just one breath here. Articulating like a snake, rolling up, coming up to that tabletop. And we're going to come down to our side body. So I'm going to come onto my right side, and we're going to set up for side plank. So let's go ahead and come down on our forearms. So just like when our belly was facing the mat, we want to make sure we're aligned here. So look down, make sure your elbow is above your wrist. Strong fist with this right hand. And then really ground down through that wrist, and then ground down through the forearm. Now, we don't want to collapse down. This is not like hanging out at the beach, but I want you to push the ground away. And then just like when we're on our back, and we're trying to make sure that we're even, so that even shoulder to shoulder, parallel, even hips. So basically, we're not trying to collapse down and shorten the side body. We're trying to lengthen it down, making sure we're still stacking our shoulder above our wrist. And keeping this length, you can either have your knees bent, or you can go ahead and extend them out. Shoulders are stacked. Shoulders are in line with your hips. Straighten those legs out. You can do heel to toe here. We're just going to push up into our side plank. So inhale, shoulders away from ears, and then exhale, let's push up. And just hold here. And then lower down. Don't collapse into the shoulders. 2 more times. Lifting up, making sure you're not twisting your body. Press your hand, your forearm down. And then lower down. One last time. Lift and hold. And then lowering down. So notice this lift you're feeling here. Keep that here as you slide down, coming down, holding your head in your hand. And I want you to bring your legs out to a 45-degree position. So we've switched our positions. We need to make sure we're still in line. So our shoulders are stacked and away from our ears. Those are in line with our hips. So it's like I have a pencil down through my hips. We don't want to roll forward or roll back. That's the key. Belly in and up, neutral pelvis here. And that side body, remember that lift we were feeling through that side plank? I want you to feel that same lift here. So we're not collapsing this lower body here. We're bringing our hips down, keeping this little lift. We're nice and engaged. All right, let's add in our legs. So nothing else changes, belly in and up. Flexible feet. Let's hover this top leg and then lower it down. So just lifting and lowering. 3 more times like that. Using the strength of our legs. So my quad is engaged here. We're working. So don't just let it go up and down. It's like you're dragging it through mud. Don't collapse down on that side body. 2 more. And 1, don't forget to breathe. All right, coming up and hovering, we're going to do little circles. So like you're drawing a circle with your heel. Going in one direction. Energy through that foot, but still keeping that length in your spine. The crown of your head feels like it's spiraling out the top of your mat. Let's reverse directions. Circling the other way. Really feeling the outside of that hip working. 1 more time like that. And then holding here. All right, come down onto your forearms, or not your forearms, your biceps. Just use that as a little pillow. So keeping this top leg hovered, you can bring your top hand in front for a little bit of support. I want you to bring that bottom leg up to meet the top. So lifting and lowering. Noticing if your shoulders are creeping up towards your ears. Trying to drag them down towards your booty, sliding, putting in your back pocket. 2 more like this. And 1, try as little weight in the hand as possible. And up and hover. Let's point those toes. And we're going to do little scissors. So trying to keep the exact same space between our legs the entire time. Shoulders away from our ears. Use that breath. Now check those hips out. Has 1 rolled forward or rolled back? 1 more time like that. Come back to center. Lowering those legs. All right, bend this bottom leg in. So it's not quite 90 degrees, but have a little bit of space here. Top leg, keep it hovered if you can.
So I want you to bring that foot forward. Show me the foot. And then sweep it back, pointing it back. Keep going with that. So sweeping it forward, flexing. Inhale. And then exhale, sweeping it back past your booty as much as you can. Keep going. So noticing, making sure your belly's in and up. Make sure it's not flopping out. That side body, and lots of nice long space underneath your obliques. One more time like this. And sweeping back. And then bringing this leg in, bending the knee, and then just hovering these together. Take a little rest. Okay, moving on. We're gonna do clamshell, my favorite. Okay, so keeping these knees bent, and I want you to keep your ankles together. So you can bring this hand in front here for a little bit of stability, but don't rely on the weight here. Use your centering and use your core strength to keep you here. Okay, we're gonna open up our knees and then bring them down. So keep going like this, making sure you're keeping your toes together. Lifting and closing. So we're wanting to keep our hips still stacked. So it depends on our hip mobility and range of motion. Some of we're built different and we're all in different stages, but I want you to still keep your belly in, opening those hips. One last time, we're going to open, hover, and hold it. So this outer hip is burning like crazy. Hold it here. Let's do the little pulses for 8, 7, ooh, that hurt, 6, yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up and hold, don't let it drop. And then slowly lowering down. Awesome. All right. Moving on, we're going to do bicycles. I need to move up a little bit. So make sure you have enough space where you're at. So you can keep this leg bent, the bottom one, or you can extend it out and then come out to the 45. If you're just getting started here, you might want to keep this bent to have a little bit more stability. So restacking everything up. Hover this top leg. We're going to do like riding a bicycle. But I want you to really exaggerate, like a super big bicycle. So bringing that knee into your chest. This hurts a lot after the clamshell. And then sweeping that foot back. And then bringing it back into your chest. Keep going, noticing if your shoulders are up towards your ears. Super big bike and like you're really riding through mud. Trying to keep your hips stacked. Trying to keep this leg parallel to the floor. One more time this direction. Make this bike even bigger. Belly in. Flex that foot out. Circling back around. All right, other side. So reversing that bike. So sending that foot back towards the booty. Straightening out. And then circling around. Reversing it. So trying to keep our hips stacked. Using our side body, our belly, everything. All of this is our core. When we think of our core and working it out, it's not just this front part, right? It's the sides, the deep stuff. It's our hips. One more. Circling around. And then bringing this top knee up and over. And just resting here for a second. Ooh, that's burning. So breathe into it. You can give it a little massage. All right, using your arm strength, go ahead and push yourself up. We're going to take this opportunity to do mermaid. Another deceptively easy move in Pilates. So what we're going for is stacking our knees and stacking our ankles. And I want you to hold the outside of your ankles. Now, depending on your hip tightness, you might need to have one leg in front of the other. And both sides are different, you're going to see. So wherever you are, holding your ankles, now square your shoulders, square your hips, and then use your strength to sit up. All right, right arm lifts up, straight up, shoulders down away from your ears, and exhale up and over. 2 more times. Inhale, nice and square, and exhale up and over, feeling the stretch to the side body. 1 more time. Inhale up, and exhale up and over, and let's hold this one. Do I look like a mermaid? I'm not sure. Belly in, feeling the muscles between your ribs opening up,
One last breath. And then inhale back up to center. Let's switch our legs. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so first setting up for our side plank. We know where we're going with this. So strong fists here. Press down into the forearm, shoulders over elbows. Remember, you can either have legs bent or you can extend them out and you can stack heel to toe. First setting up, making sure we're not collapsing down on our shoulders, lifting that side body, making sure we're straight as much as possible. Hands can be wherever you want. We're just going to lift to that side plank. So inhale, shoulder width from ear. And let's push up. And then lowering down, shoulders staying in the short lower girdle. Lifting up, belly in, straight up, and then down. One more time, just like that. Lifting, using your hips, using your belly, your side body. Make sure you're stacked. And then lowering down. Holding here. We're feeling this energy. We're going to come down to our side. So setting yourself up again. We're going to do that 45-degree angle. So hips stacked, remember, not rolling forward. We're going to start with those lifts. So making sure this leg is nice into the mat. Nice, good energy. Through the heel, top leg, we're going to do lift and lower. So inhale and exhale. Lowering and lifting. Now, I want you to feel like you have energy going in, up, and down, right? So it's not just throwing your leg up and then letting it fall down. We want to hover the entire time. So it's like you have a super heavy weight here. Thighs are working. And it takes a lot of effort to lift it up. Belly in. One more like this. Up and hover. Little circle. So one direction. Feeling length through that leg. Shoulders away from ears. Belly in. All of the zillion things. One more this direction. Super even, smooth circles. Other way. So notice if your shoulders are up towards your ears, bring them down. Don't forget to breathe. Length through that side body. One more. Up and hover. All right, come down. Keeping that leg covered if you can. We're going to do that lift to meet. So this leg does not move at all. Finding some space underneath that left oblique. Bottom lifts to meet the top and then lower down. Lifting, hips are staying stacked. Inhale and exhale. Top leg not moving. Try and have as little weight in this front hand as much as possible. If you feel like your hips are trying to wiggle forward and you're trying to like fall off this tightrope, that's what we're going for. We're trying to not fall off. One more time. Lift and lower. Let's hold here. Point your toes. Little scissors. So nice energy through those feet. Using your belly strength. You're stabilizing your pelvis. Nice long lines. Use that breath. Two more like that. Straight legs if possible. And one. Ooh, this second side is always harder. All right, bring those legs together and then lowering down. All right, setting up for clamshell. So you can stay down here or you can always come up on here. I'm going to stay down here today. So bending this bottom leg in, restacking everything up. Stacking these legs together. Remember, we're going to keep our toes together. So we're going to open up that clamshell and then close it down. So notice, keep going. But maybe this side feels a lot more open, right? You're able to open up more. You have more rotation through that hip joint than the other side. Maybe not. Two more like this. Remember that super heavy weights, like you're dragging it up and then you're fighting, resisting it down. One more. Belly in and lowering down. We're going to do little pulses for 8, 7, little 6, 5, 4, whoop, 3, yes, 2 and 1 and hold it. And then lowering down. Take a little rest. All right, we're going to do bicycle. So you can keep this bent here. We can extend it out. Hover this top leg, and we're going to do that regular bicycle ride. So bringing the knee into your chest, and then flex your foot out, show me your foot, and then sweep it around, and then come back around. So just like that. So noticing, is your side body anchored into the mat?
Your shoulders trying to move back and forth. Just noticing, but we're really trying to stabilize them. 2 more like this. And 1. Really big bike. All right, reversing our bike. So sending the foot towards the booty, extending that leg out, circling it back around, and coming in. So when you're doing this, I want you to think like your legs are on railroad tracks. You have the exact same space between the entire time. So it's like when you're coming forward, you're not letting your knee dip down. That's pretty common. Or your foot's doing something weird. 1 more time. Back to center. And then bring that top leg to the front. Just relax it down. Give that booty a slap. All right, let's push up and set up for that mermaid on this side. So notice, how is this one different than the other? So stack your knees, stack your ankles. This one is so much harder for me. So you probably notice it. So I have to kind of split my feet a little bit, but that's okay. So shoulders square as much as possible, facing the screen, hips nice and square. So wherever you are today, doesn't matter. Don't judge my mermaid. Lifting that left arm up, palm facing you. Inhale, reach up and over. Side body stretch. Woo. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Holding those feet or ankles wherever feels good or challenging. Exhale up and over and hold. So noticing your shoulders as one creeping forward more than the other. Square everything out. You should feel pretty deep stretch through that side body. Strong fingertips. Then inhale, core strength brings you back up to center. And then come back up. We're just going to do a couple of hip thingies. Windshield wipers? I guess so. So arms behind you. Palms down on the mat. Fingers facing out and back. Spread those fingers. Lifting those toes. And we're just going to windshield wiper. So dropping our knees down to one side. And then coming back up. And then going on the other side. Lifting up. And up and over. 1 more time. If this feels hard, your hips are super tight, just notice it, right? We all hold a lot of attention, a lot of stress in our hips. So consider what you can do with yoga or before your, 1 more time, exercise or after your exercises. Just noticing tightness. All right, coming back up to center. Bring those knees together. Use your core strength to bring up to sit. Give yourself a little hug. Say thank you, body, for helping me do this. So this is a quick little series that's usually, in the middle of an hour-long Pilates class. But if you just want to have a little side body work, that's something you can do. And there's a zillion other leg sideline exercises that we can do. And it gets even harder when we add in props, when we change our arm position, when we come up on our arm. It can get crazy. But it's good because we're learning how to line everything up in space, no matter if we're on our stomachs, our back, or our sides. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Again, this is Meg. Thank you, and peace out from Hoi An. Ciao.